Hi, I'm Paula from Paula's DIY Decor and welcome to my channel. I'm the crafter from Down Under and I've got 3 great summer DIYs that you can make on a budget. So for my first DIY, I want to share with you how I made this 2-way flower wall or table decoration. You're going to need some cardboard. I just recycled an old cereal box and just draw out a template of a floral petal. Once you've done that, just cut out your floral petal and then you're going to duplicate that petal a number of different times. I think I ended up making, in the end, probably about 30 petals, and then I spray painted them a beautiful gold colour. Now, I did want to spray paint both sides of the petals, but I ran out of spray paint, so I got at least one coat on one side and I got about half of the petals done on the underside. Then using some Mod Podge, I just laced some Mod Podge glue in the centre of the petal, creating like a panel, leaving some of that gold paint showing on the edge of the petal. And then I used this beautiful these crystal gems. I just found them in the craft store, really super cheap. You can find them in any discount store. And I just lay them on top of the glue. Now you can turn the petal upside down and lay it into the little crystal gems, or I just drop them over the top, and whatever stuck is what really stayed. And so I repeated this process a number of different times. I wasn't sure how many petals I was going to need. Once the Mod Podge was dry, I then started to adhere each of the petals around a gorgeous mirrored coaster. Now I just used my hot glue for this, but you can use E6000 or Gorilla Glue or any form of really strong glue. And to create more of a dimension to this floral centerpiece, I used some of the plain gold petals and I just hot glued them underneath the crystal petals so that the crystal really stood out. And then I had a 2-layered little flower ready to adhere onto a background. Now for my background, I decided to use a picture frame, and to give the picture frame a little bit more oomph, I just picked a blue and white napkin that I had in my stash. It's this gorgeous chinoiserie looking napkin, and I just cut that down to size and popped it into the picture frame. So when I turned it over, it actually gave even further dimension to the floral centerpiece. But when I turned over the flower, I realized it was too low, so I just used a towering tumbling block to elevate the flower onto the picture frame. Now I just used hot glue, but I would recommend that you use E6000 or a very strong glue for glass, otherwise that flower will fall off eventually. And then to create this wonderful 2-way piece of decor, I just used some extra large little gems to create legs on the picture frame, and then it became a riser. So here you can use it with a beautiful vase, or you can use it with a candle, a little tea light holder, and I also could even use it with a very tall vase that I had as part of my home decor, and I thought it worked out really beautifully. But here you can see it hanging on the wall as a piece of wall decor, and it's a great way to add a little bit of sunshine to your home. For my second DIY, I want to share with you how I made this adorable floral wall decor. So the theme of today's video is all about flowers for summer, and I thought, why not make a beautiful floral wall decor using the same petals left over from the previous project. So you're going to need some tumbling blocks, you're going to need some paddle pop sticks or popsicle sticks, some cardboard, and some of those leftover petals that we had from the previous project, and this beautiful adhesive fabric that I found in my local discount store, along with some white paint. So once I had selected my 3 different colours from my adhesive sheets, I then needed to make the centre of the flowers, and I just used the top of a lid of a paint bottle, and I made 6 round shapes and cut them out. I used cardboard for this, and to create a thicker centre to my flower, I just used my hot glue and joined 2 of the round shapes together, so I ended up with 3 in total. Then I mocked up what the flower would look like, so using 5 petals and then popping that round shape in the middle. That gave me roughly the size and dimension of the flower that I wanted to create, and I just used one of the petals and created a template with 5 different petal shapes on the back of this adhesive fabric, and then proceeded to cut them all out. I found it a little tricky to peel off the adhesive backing. It certainly was very stuck onto the fabric, but just using a little sharp knife, or you can use a Cricut tool or anything that's pointy, that really helped me to unravel the adhesive off the back of the fabric. Now, when you're laying down fabric onto curved templates, it's better to use a few little slits around the side to enable you to curl that material over so you don't get any lumps and bumps. Here you can see the petal up nice and close, and you can see that gorgeous floral design and the pattern of the material, which I think really gives this floral wall decor lots of dimension and a point of difference, so it's really creative. So using my hot glue, I started to assemble the flower, including the bud, in the centre of the flower, and I repeated that process across all 3 different colours. Using the back of my paintbrush, I recurled the petals because they had flattened a little with the material, and that gave these flowers some gorgeous dimension and a more realistic look. For this design, I only needed 2 tumbling towel blocks on the sides and 5 across horizontally, but you can use as many or as little tumbling towel blocks as you need to create the frame according to the size of your flowers. So once I had adhered all of the blocks together, then I had the base of my frame, and then I used some popsicle sticks to start to create a backing for this frame. Now, you can use this as a sign, so you can add words, or you can use a Cricut and put some stencils on there. I just kept it really, really plain. I painted all of my popsicle sticks white, which you'll see in a moment. I did have to cut down some of those popsicle sticks, as you can see here. But once I laid them out, the backing almost looked like kind of shiplap, really, and it was a really nice rustic look. So I decided to paint them all white, and unfortunately I did lose some of the footage. I thought I had the camera on, but I didn't. And after I had painted the wooden frame white, I then did go ahead and distress it with some brown paint after it was all dry. I wanted to elevate the flowers inside this wooden frame, so I just had some square little blocks, baby blocks, and I just painted them white, and then using my hot glue, popped them onto the back of the flowers and then adhered them onto the frame. Now, I could have stopped there, but I thought I wanted to add even more dimension to this wall decor. So using some pink paint, I decided to give it a bit of a whitewash pink paint on the edges of the frame. Once I had laid it down, I decided I didn't like it, so I went back over it with some paint, no dramas, and then distressed it again, and then I was really happy with the outcome. So here you can see this beautiful floral wall decor using the same petals as the first project. No one would know that this project started off with just some simple cereal cardboard box, some wooden blocks, and some popsicle sticks. So for my final DIY, I want to share with you how I made this absolutely stunning, bright, fun and cheerful summer swag. So to get started, you're going to need some deco mesh. I had some blue deco mesh left over from my seasonal decor, some beautiful coloured bright ribbons. I had a stick that was part of a Christmas decoration that I had lying around, and some chenille sticks. Now the chenille sticks are an important part of this DIY because they form the basis of the deco mesh swag. So you're going to lay down 3 chenille sticks, and you're going to start by twisting the first chenille stick pointing in the center, the second chenille stick pointing to the right of the stick, and the third chenille stick pointing to the left of the stick. So what you're going to end up in this particular DIY, I had 5 sets of chenille sticks with 1 twisted and pointing in the center, the second twisted and pointing to the left, and the third twisted and pointing to the right. It looks easier than I'm probably explaining it, but it's really important to do this because when we lay down the deco mesh, we're going to create poofs all the way down the left-hand side of the stick, the right-hand side of the stick, and the center of the stick. To make sure that the chenille sticks don't move around, I just put a dab of hot glue down the side of each chenille stick. So once that hot glue was dry, then we start the exciting part of constructing our swag. Now you can use all different ways to make a swag. I just decided to keep it really simple and create about 10-inch poofs, and using those poofs, then using the chenille sticks to twist around the deco mesh. Just make sure that you fluff each of the poofs as you're going down. So here I'm starting on the left-hand side of the stick, and I'm just creating 10-inch poofs all the way down using the chenille sticks that are pointing to the left to twist around that deco mesh, and I'm going to create poofs all the way down the left and then curl it back round at the end and then go all the way up the right of the stick. And that starts to create the basis of the deco mesh swag. And then when I'm at the end of the right-hand side of the stick, creating more poofs down the right-hand side, I then curled the deco mesh around and went down the center of the stick. If you're liking this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up and let me know what you think of these decor pieces for summer. If you're new to my channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. I make gorgeous home decor, seasonal decor, and beautiful tablescapes. If you're returning to my channel, thank you so much for doing that and leaving me those wonderful, inspiring comments. I do so enjoy reading them, and I hope that I inspire you with some of these gorgeous DIYs that I'm making on a super duper budget. Now, this swag did use materials that I already had in my craft room, so you can use just about anything to create a swag. You can use material, you can use deco mesh, you can use really wide ribbon. Really, it's up to your creativity and your colour scheme. When I was done with the poofs along the side of the stick, I then cut out 20-inch pieces of deco mesh because I wanted to curl them and then create a little bit more dimension and thickness to the swag. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking 20 inches of deco mesh, I'm curling one side about 3 or 4 times and then pegging it in the center, flipping over the 20-inch deco mesh piece, curling the opposite side and then scrunching it together. It does have a name, but for the life of me, I can't remember the name of this particular type of curled deco mesh. I'm sure somebody can let me know in the comments below what this is called. But it's super easy to make, and it adds some extra swirls and extra dimension and interest to your swag, and also serves to cover up the chenille sticks as well. So unfortunately I didn't have blue chenille sticks, so I had to use black chenille sticks. That's all I had in my craft room, but by the end of this DIY you won't even see them. So next I used some of this gorgeous ribbon, really bright, colourful summer ribbons. I had a yellow polka dotted ribbon, some pink and green and white striped ribbon, and some blue and white striped, really thin ribbon to tie in the entire colour scheme to the Bloom Deco mesh. And all I did was using the chenille sticks on the left-hand side and the right-hand side of the stick, I created little ribbon poofs down each side, the left side and the right side. And this started to create a more cohesive look for the whole DIY and added that extra beautiful summer look to the swag. Next, I used some florals and some greenery to start to really bring this swag to life. So I didn't add some of those swirls in the center of the swag because I knew I was going to be adding some florals. So here I'm using these really pretty bright summery yellow roses and cream and white roses, and I just simply inserted them into the deco mesh. I also had some blue hibiscus flowers. I didn't need to glue them for this particular swag, but I would recommend that you use some glue just to make sure that those flowers don't pop out when you hang it over your door. And certainly if you're using it outside, you need some of that glue to really keep all of that floral and that greenery well and truly in place. And then to finish the swag off, I used those beautiful fabric flowers that we created in the previous project, and by twisting some of those chenille sticks, I adhered those floral fabric flowers to the swag so that I could reposition them wherever I needed to, because they were on the flexible chenille sticks. And there you have it, a beautiful, vibrant summer swag that you can hang on a wall, over your door, or really anywhere in your home, and it just brings a smile to your face. Well, I hope you've enjoyed these DIYs. I've thoroughly enjoyed making them with you. I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Bye.